Hi everyone, how you doing today? We're going to talk about something that's pretty interesting. I've been looking at the webinar and certain things jump out. And so what we're going to do is, or should I say certain things that don't jump out, and we're going to talk about that in this video tonight. So let's get into it. All right, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here, and we are actually going to talk about the cooperation or non-cooperation between Elaphe and Aptera, and we're going to try to deduce what is going on between those two. So let's get into this right now and take a look at certain things that they have done in the past and certain things that are going on now. So first we're going to take a look at the January 28, 2023 webinar that came out last year, at the beginning of last year. And there were certain things that Aptera and Elaphe was working on together. Let's take a look at that video.
Carl's been doing an amazing job leading our powertrain team, working with Elaphe to co-develop more energy efficient, lighter weight, less part count propulsion device. And this really is the most efficient powertrain you can put on a vehicle now.
Yeah, if you look at it might be difficult to see the power curve, but the standard motor that Elaphe had developed was very efficient in a regime that was not our regime. So it was very efficient under a higher load that you'd need for a heavy vehicle. Well, with the Aptera being so lightweight and also not having virtually no drag resistance at speed, it was in a different load regime compared to what they designed for. So we had to shift the design of the motor, change the windings, change the arrangement of the magnets to shift that sort of efficiency mode from where it was to where Aptera will dwell at high speeds, and that improved the efficiency tremendously.
This is kind of the motor breakout, but I think it's significant to point out that the upright, the thing that holds the motor to the suspension, is actually part of the motor. So we were able to reduce part count and reduce weight, and it's just a much easier assembly to put together.
All right, to be clear, this is not their motor. This is the one that we co-developed.
So they're bringing out that Elaphe and their chief engineers actually working together to simplify their motor to work with Aptera. It sounds like the first motor that they were using actually did not work well or as efficient as they had planned. And so they're co-working on making some changes to the motor so that it can work more effectively with the Aptera. And this next video actually coincides with this one. Let's take a look at that one. This one was actually from the webinar that was done in June 2023. So let's take a look at that one.
What we learned yesterday, seeing our inverter and the motor on the dyno with our, that's actually a prototype Elaphe, that's our new design that's on the dyno stand there. What we learned is that we're at a regime where it's not going to make much difference if we actually decide to use a lower cost IGBT as opposed to the silicon carbide that's in here now. So we have that option, and we're looking at that option because we want to do everything we can to make the vehicle cost competitive.
So you can see that they were not only trying to make the motor more efficient, they were also trying to bring down the cost of the motor as well. And they are just trying to survive. We know that it's hard, very hard for a startup company to make it in this world, especially in the automotive industry. And Aptera is just trying to get their vehicle out there with the right price. And so I totally understand that what they're going through. I guess we'll just have to just look into more details to see what's happening. And as far as I could tell, in the last webinar, there was no mention of Elaphe. And when they brought up their Aptera partnership, you could see that Elaphe is not on here, which is, kind of unusual. They have all their other partners on here, CPC, Monroe, Cherry, and the other guys, but no Elaphe. And I mean, they started out with them. They've been with Elaphe for a long time. And so I searched the internet on Elaphe, and these were some of the things I came up with. So you can see this is their home page, and they're still doing a lot of things, but they're using their in-wheel motors for all different type of companies. And you can see here that, I mean, they're continuing to work steadily. Here you got Lightyear, you got Aptera, and you know, they're still working hard. It looks like they're developing what they can, but they're also not sitting back on their laurels. You can see right here that they're developing something for Q1X, and this is looks like I think this is a Chinese company, and they're coming out with something with Elaphe motors as well. But I could tell that there's a lot of vehicles that are coming out with this shape that are going to transport people, boxes, and other things that need to go from one spot to another. This right here is basically a people transporter, and you could tell, I mean, it doesn't look very fast, and it's just basically a taxi, looks like. But this isn't the only company that Elaphe's going to be working for, as was brought out in the beginning of the first videos that I brought out. And like in this video, you can see they're actually doing something for Land Rover. They're doing in-wheel motors for them. And so Elaphe's still working hard. You can see that they are continuing to do their work. They're continuing to make their motors better. You see they still got Aptera in the picture. And we don't know exactly what's going on between them and Aptera, but I'm sure it's all going to come out to light pretty soon. We just have to wait and be patient. Aptera is trying to do what's best for their company, and they're trying to make sure that the motor that they use for the Aptera is going to work to the best of its ability. So I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? What do you think's going on between Elaphe and Aptera? I guess eventually we'll find out very soon in the end. So anyway, you guys, if you're new here, hit the like, ring the bell, subscribe. And my patrons, thank you very much. You always keep me going. You keep me motivated. You guys take care. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.